And the Kent State men's basketball team continued their non-conference schedule against South Dakota State. We have the highlights.
Could Deshaun Watson win his first start as a Cleveland Brown?
And the Ohio High School Football State Championships kicked off this weekend. We will have all that and more on Sports Corner, which starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Sports Corner. I'm Matt Mergen.
And I'm Liv Sharp.
And we start with some breaking news regarding the Kent State football program.
Kent State head football coach Sean Lewis is leaving Kent State to take the offensive coordinator job at Colorado under new coach Deion Sanders per Pete Thamel of ESPN. Kent State officials plan to build on that foundation that Lewis built there, which included the school's first ever bowl win and a MAC championship appearance a season ago.
And the buyout of his contract is $750,000, which will be reinvested into the KSU football program. The Athletic also reports that Lewis will address the team tonight regarding his decision. Stick with Kent Wired and TV2 for updates as they become available. And now the Golden Flashes, they were at home against South Dakota State. Carey's going to get us started as he hits this turnaround mid-range jumper. Great bounce-back game for Carey. He had 23 points in the contest, and Kent State's offense was firing. Santiago swings the ball to the top of the key, creating a catch and shoot for Thomas. Flashes, they were rolling. Kent star Malik Jacobs leading the fast break. Malik gets it to Carey. Double clutch layup, and that is good. That duo was a problem for South Dakota State. 36 points combined for the duo, and Carey could not be stopped. Drives down the baseline for the score. South Dakota's defense struggling to stop him. Then Jalen Solinger, he would add to the three-point barrage. He knocked this one down, one of Kent State's 10 threes in the game. And Kent State, they were cruising through the first half. Hornbeek's putback near the end of the first half contributed to a Flashes 43-27 lead at the half, and then Thomas hits yet another three for Kent. Flashes offense on full display in this game. Carey continuing to lead the way. He drives to the basket, shot fake, and he will score. The scoring ability on full display for him, and Kent continue to feed their best player. He gets to his spot here, step back from three, and he's going to drill this shot. The Kent State bench, they were loving that shot from Sincere Carey. Malik Jacobs now for Kent State. Ball in his hands, he's going to take it himself. Gets to his spot for the elbow jumper. That is tough offense to stop. Great shot making by Malik, and then Malik Jacobs this time being a playmaker to Carey, who knocks down the corner three. That's automatic, easy catch and shoot three for him. He was fired up in this game, and you got to feed the hot hand. Santiago on the drive, he's going to kick it out to Carey, putting him in an ISO situation. He's just going to rise up and drill this three. 10 for 15 shooting for him. It felt like everything was falling for Sincere. Flash's offense was a problem for South Dakota. Great ball movement ends up in the hands of Von Cameron Davis, who scores off a floater. Kent State, they win with a final score of 83-68, and they will play on the road next against Gonzaga. The coach Senderoff spoke on the win.
Good win for us, especially coming off these two really tough losses that we've had. So it's great to get back in the win column. You know, as I see it, we made a really good team, which South Dakota State is. We made them look pretty average tonight, and I think it's a credit to how well we played, especially on the defensive end. I have a lot of respect for their program, their players. Their coach is a really good coach. So really proud of the way we played tonight, and able to again, like, we played pretty well in a lot of areas. So still things to clean up. The fouling, as I'm looking at the stat sheet, something we got to get better at. But all in all, good win. Happy to get it and move forward to the.
I think it's great when we come out like that to get the first punch or whatever you want to call it, because it brings good energy and it wakes everybody up. And as a leader, I always try to make an impact play to start the game to make sure everybody's ready to go and show them that I'm ready, because they usually follow right behind me. But once we start off 11-0 run, we just got to keep on building onto it and not getting complacent with it.
Kent State's got a packed schedule coming up tonight. It's going to be a great game. Kent State is at number 18 Gonzaga. That is going to tip off at 9 p.m. Follow Kent Wired for all those updates. December 10th, they're going to be at Cleveland State, 3 p.m. tip-off. They'll be back home on December 18th versus Concord at 5 p.m. December 21st, they'll be out at New Mexico State, tip-off at 7:30. Then they'll be back home January 3rd versus Western Michigan. Great MAC matchup there at 7 p.m. And the Kent State women's basketball team continued their impressive stretch, winning their 4th straight game as they beat St. Bonaventure 64-49. Kent State's defense was making plays all game long, holding St. Bonaventure to a 30.2% shooting and racking up a season-high 10 steals and 4 blocks. Freshman Corinne Hauser scored a career-high 18 points on a very efficient 5 of 8 shooting. Kent State will go for their 5th consecutive victory Wednesday night at Duquesne. Here's what Coach Todd Starkey and Corinne Hauser had to say after yesterday's game.
Our second quarter was really good, 23-9, I think it was. Really executed well offensively in the second quarter. Defensively, I thought we were really solid. And obviously would like to play like that for 40 full minutes, but pleased with getting the win over an A-10 school. Have a quick turnaround to go play Duquesne at Duquesne on Wednesday, which will be a tough game. So we've got to work on some stuff and get better. But overall, pleased with the win.
I think I was just playing more aggressive. I was taking what the defense was giving to me. We had a lot of transition points, and a lot of opportunities came from transition. I think we were moving the ball pretty well on offense. My teammates were getting me open, cutting without the ball. So I think that was a big part of it.
Then just taking a look at their upcoming schedule. December 7th, they're at Duquesne. That tip-off is 6 p.m. December 11th, they're at home against Hiram. That tip-off is 2 p.m. December 20th, they will play Otterbein at home. That is 11 a.m. tip-off. December 31st against Coppin State at 1 p.m. They're home once again. And then January 4th, they play Buffalo at 7 p.m.
Now we head to some high school football state championship action. Division II here between Archbishop Hoban and Toledo Central Catholic. QB for TCC, Tywan Clark is going to fake the handoff, takes it in himself for the 1-yard touchdown. TCC takes a 7-0 lead. Clark with the ball, he's looking around, he tries to find an open man, so he just tucks it under his arm and takes off. Look at him run. Tywan Clark takes it 24 yards to the house. TCC has a 14-0 lead. Hoban trying to get back in this game, but it's intercepted. What a snag by Brandon Alls. Jakai Long fired badly, and Alls is going to take off running. He will turn on the Jets, go all the way. He returns this pick 92 yards, and the Irish take a 21-0 lead. But there is one man who cannot be denied. Lamar Sperling will fight tooth and nail, make it into the end zone for Hoban's first down. They now trail by 14 to end the half. Clark uncorks, fires to Hall, and Hall falls into the end zone, and the Irish go into the half leading by 21 points. But don't count out those Knights. It's Lamar Sperling taking off, dashing past Central Catholic defenders. Even the camera can't keep up with him here, folks. Look at him run. He takes off to the end zone and cuts the deficit to 14 in the third. Will Hoban make a comeback? They're trying to stay in this game, and it's one man, Lamar Sperling, with his 3rd rushing touchdown. It's not going to be enough, though. Toledo Central Catholic will be victorious.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Anthony Leonardi. The St. Edwards Eagles faced off against the Springfield Wildcats in the Division I state championship. Let's take a look at the highlights. This one is a rematch in Canton. St. Ed's took the game last year, and the Wildcats were out for redemption. After the Eagles get stopped on 4th down, the Wildcats running back Javen Norman is going to find his way into the end zone. Wildcats take a 7-0 lead. The Eagles are going to answer back. Quarterback Casey Bullock is going to find his man Kyan Mason for a 25-yard touchdown. Score is going to be tied. In the second quarter, on the goal line, Bullock is going to use his legs as he keeps a handoff, and he's going to run in for the touchdown. Eds now leads 14-7. St. Ed's on the goal line once again. This time, Marvin Bell, he's going to get on the board as he launches himself into the end zone, and Eds is going to go up 21-7 going into the half. Not much happened in the third quarter, but deep late in the third, quarterback Bryce Schondelmeyer is going to fire to the end zone for Dalen Bradley for the touchdown. Score 21-14 Eds. And in the fourth quarter, a play-action pass is going to set up the Eagles at the 1-yard line. And then Marvin Bell, once again, is going to force his way into the end zone and increase the lead. Eds is up 28-14. St. Ed's is going to take home the win, and they are now back-to-back state champions.
And thank you, Anthony. Now let's take a look at other state championship scores. Division III, we got Canfield 35, Bloom Carroll 14, then we got Glenville 26, Wyoming 6, South Range, they win 53 to Ironton's 27, Marion Local 14 to Kirtland's 6, low scoring game there, and New Bremen 38, Warren JFK 6 in that championship game. And conference championship weekend, plus who is in the college football playoff, we'll have more after the break. Welcome back. The biggest weekend in college football, conference championship weekend. Let's start out in Arlington with the Big 12. We got TCU taking on Kansas State, a matchup between two ranked teams. Here we go in this one. TCU looking to remain undefeated and punch their ticket into the college football playoff. 7-0 TCU. Kansas State, they're knocking on the door, and Will Howard, he throws to his tight end, Ben Sinnott. The Wildcats tie this game up at 7 apiece. Kansas State, they are here to play. TCU ain't walking away with a free win. Kansas State leading. Will Howard in the shotgun. He drops back to pass, surveying the field and fires a missile to R.J. Garcia. Garcia scores, and he went up and pulled it down. Kansas State has a 21-10 lead in this game. Upset alert. And then late in the third, the Horned Frogs are trying to stay in this one. Duggan hands the ball off to Miller, and he is going to do the rest. TCU cuts the deficit to 4 in this game behind Miller's score. 82 yards for Miller in the game, and early in the fourth quarter, Kansas State trying to hold on to their lead. And they give it to Deuce Vaughn. Vaughn breaks the tackle, shakes loose from TCU defenders. Kansas State is literally running with this one. Vaughn scores to keep it a 2-score game in this one. What a play. 2 minutes to go. Duggan and the offense back out there. Max Duggan is going to do it himself. He takes this one into the end zone on the quarterback keeper. Duggan leaving it all out there. They would go for 2, and we'd have overtime in OT. 4th and goal. TCU looking for the touchdown, not selling for a field goal, and the rush gets stuffed. The Wildcats, they get the ball back. Look at that defensive stop again one more time. Kansas State's defense, they came to play, giving them a chance in this matchup. And the fate of this game, it would rest on the leg of Ty Zentner, and he will deliver. 31 yards out for Zentner, and Kansas State pulls off the upset. TCU falls in this game, snapping their undefeated streak with a final score of 31-28 in this game.
Now Georgia taking on LSU in the SEC Championship. We start things off with a field goal here. Damian Ramos is on to kick it, but it's blocked. Oh my goodness, the play is over. Let's move on. The ball is not dead. And hey, Georgia realizes Smith scoops it off, and he takes off to the races. Oh my goodness, folks, that ball was not dead since that was a blocked kick, and Smith will go 95 yards to the house. The Tigers don't even know he's gone, and they jump out to an early 7-0 lead in the first quarter. How could that happen, folks? I don't know. That one left me guessing as well. LSU is looking to strike back. Jaden Daniels takes the snap, looks around, and fires across the middle to Kayshawn Butte. Butte will turn upfield, break a tackle, turn on the Jets, and take it to the house. 53 yards to be exact, and just like that, the SEC Championship is knotted at 7. 3rd and goal for the Bulldogs. Stetson Bennett has the ball. He's in motion, connects with Brock Bowers, who barrels his way into the end zone, and touchdown Georgia. They take a 14-7 lead as the first quarter ends. Start of the second, LSU on offense. Adonai Mitchell tries to find a man, but he gets knocked into the ball. The ball bounces off his helmet. It gets bobbled around before Georgia gets possession of it. What a crazy play here, folks. It bounces off of this tight end's helmet, gets bobbled between defenders' hands, gets scooped up, and that ends up as an interception. 2nd and goal for the Bulldogs. Bennett rolls out of the pocket, finds Dylan Bell in the end zone, and Georgia is just rolling over LSU. LSU is going to have one final gasp of air. Garrett Nussmeier will wind up and unload, looking deep for his receiver, but he will be picked, and that's going to do it. Georgia will get a ridiculous 50-30 win over the LSU Tigers.
And now we got the Clemson Tigers. They're taking on the UNC Tar Heels. Clemson, they're on the road in this matchup. Tar Heels, they're heading out onto the field looking for an upset in this one. UNC in the red zone to get things started, and it's a quarterback keeper by Drake May. May scores this rushing touchdown to give UNC an early 7-0 lead in this game. And it was a low-scoring first quarter so far, but that would change as Cade Klubinik on play action. He rolls to his right, and he finds Davis Allen in the corner of the end zone, and that would be the spark Clemson needed to get things going in the game. They would get the ball back before the end of the quarter. This time, it's the run game for Clemson. Phil Maffa scores to give Clemson a 14-7 lead at the end of the first quarter. Clemson, they are gaining momentum early. Tigers back on offense. Klubnik again back to pass. He airs one out to Cole Turner. Turner, 3 catches, 101 yards in this game. He stumbles his way into the end zone. I don't know how he stayed up. Tigers, they score again. It's 21-7, and UNC starting to fall behind. Drake May back to pass. Good protection so far. Rolls out of the pocket to his right. He's going to fire one, and it's intercepted. Clemson defense forces a turnover. It's Nate Wiggins. He is gone. Clemson scores again. UNC fans, they're in shambles. The Tar Heels struggled big time in this matchup, and they couldn't overcome the deficit. The Tigers, they would go on to win this game with a final score of 39-10. And like I said, Clemson, they avoid this upset.
And looking for 2 straight. But Purdue will stand in their way. McCarthy fakes the handoff, fires over to Colston. Loveland snags that with a leaping grab, falls into the end zone. The Wolverines now lead 7-0 in the first. Michigan in the red zone. Once again, McCarthy drops back. Here comes the pressure, but he connects with Luke Schoonmaker, and Michigan takes a 14-10 lead in the second. McCarthy handing it off to Donovan Edwards. Edwards will break a tackle. He's going to find some space up the middle here, and he takes off. He's making men miss left and right. You can't drag him down until you finally reach the end zone, and Michigan continues to dominate here, 28-13 in the third. Purdue trying to cut into this deficit, but Aiden O'Connell is picked off at the goal line by Will Johnson. Purdue just seems absolutely helpless against this Michigan defense. O'Connell desperately trying to will his team back, but Johnson, he's got his number, picks him off again. That is unbelievable. Amazing defensive performance by Michigan, and Johnson and J.J. McCarthy on 3rd and 11. Deals over the middle to Ronnie Bell in the very back of the end zone. He gets his feet down, and that'll be all she wrote. Michigan will win 43-22 and get a second consecutive Big Ten win.
What's up, Portage County? I'm TV2 college football analyst Ryan Shanko, and oh man, there is so much going on in the college football world. So let's get right into some more championship highlights. We're going to go to Allegiant Stadium, the home of the Pac-12 title, between playoff hopeful USC and upset-minded Utah. The Trojans came out firing Caleb Williams, Taj Washington, and that was an early touchdown. USC, they jump out to a 17-3 lead in this one before Jaquindon Jackson punches it in to cut the lead to 7 late in the first half. Now, just a few seconds left in the first half. Cam Rising doesn't think field goal. Utah's going for a touchdown. Yeah, there it is. That's a tie ball game as we go into the half. And now we go to the third quarter. USC forced a 3rd and 19. Usually you'd think, all right, the defense can make a stop, but no. Money Parks is absolutely money, and he cashes in for a 57-yard score to make it 24-17 Utes. And now let's just give a quick shout out to new helmet technology, because without that, Cam Rising's head just might be scrambled eggs right now. But fourth quarter, USC cuts the lead to 3, but Thomas Yasmin channels his inner Gronk on his way to the 60-yard score, and the momentum swings all the way in favor of the Utes. You know, you think maybe third time's the charm for Lincoln Riley's Trojans to learn how to tackle, but once again, Jaquindon Jackson, like a hot knife through butter, cuts in for another 50-yard touchdown. He finished with 105 yards and 2 scores. And then Micah Bernard adds insult to injury here as the Trojans watch their playoff chances disappear right in front of their eyes. Utah wins their second straight Pac-12 title and is going back to the Rose Bowl.
And just a quick look at the bowl games. TCU, they're 12-1, and they're taking on Michigan. That is the 3 and the 4 seed, December 31st at 4 p.m. Is going to be the kickoff for that playoff semifinal game. And now we're going to look at the Peach Bowl. It's Ohio State. They're 11-1. They're taking on Georgia, who's the number 1 ranked team, 13-0. Again, that game is Saturday, December 31st at 8 p.m. for that playoff semifinal game.
And make it into the championships. Don't worry, we've got plenty of fun New Year's Six bowls. The Sugar Bowl will see Alabama taking on Kansas State. The Orange Bowl will see Tennessee versus Clemson. The Cotton Bowl will see Tulane versus USC. And the Rose Bowl will see Penn State versus Utah. We now welcome in another one of our college football analysts, Noah Keeney. Noah, Ryan, we start with some college football discussions. Breaking news right here in Kent. ESPN's Pete Thamel reports that Golden Flash's head coach, Sean Lewis, has accepted the offensive coordinator position at Colorado, joining Deion Sanders in Boulder. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, this is, absolutely unprecedented. And for it to break right before our show is just insane. This is, it's a tough break for Kent. Lewis, he's been probably the most influential and talented coach that we've had here at Kent State in a long time. And we wish him well as he goes on to Colorado, and we'll attempt to find a replacement.
Yeah, I agree with him exactly. I think Sean Lewis was a great leader and a good coach, but I do think in a way this will be good for Kent State football to get a new face in there, and that I think it would be good to get them with some more experience as well. I think that Sean Lewis did good, but he never was able to capture that elusive MAC championship, and I think maybe we can get someone that will bring that to the table.
I sure hope so.
I agree. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that job. But now it's time to pivot to the NFL draft. Who do you guys think is going to go number 1 overall?
Well, I think everyone believes the Texans are going to go quarterback here, but I want to go off a limb and say Will Anderson Jr., the stud linebacker out of Alabama, will be the number 1 pick. He's had double-digit sacks in the hardest conference in football, and there's no reason that I don't think he can do that again in the NFL. I absolutely believe he'll be the next Micah Parsons. What do you believe?
Oh, well, so I also think the Texans will go number 1. They're going to go quarterback, and there's not a better prospect in the NFL draft this year than Bryce Young. This guy, he's a Heisman winner. We know that. Came up just short in the national championship, but he's got elite pocket presence. He's got a rocket arm that can make every throw on the field, even NFL-level throws, which that's a very difficult thing to be able to do. He has the ability to extend plays and improvise using his legs to affect the defense as well. And Bryce Young, he's just got that it factor. Something about him makes me feel like he has the kind of moxie, the kind of swag that you can lead an NFL team with. And I think that's going to serve him really well as he goes into the NFL draft.
I absolutely agree with you. We've got time for one more question. What do you think the 12-team playoff will do for college football in the coming years?
I think this is going to be awesome for college football. The expanded playoff, that means on-campus playoff games. Going to be absolutely electric and great for the schools that get to host them. Expanding the CFP is going to make conference championship games matter again because the 4 highest-ranked conference champions get a first-round bye in the new playoff format. It will draw even more attention to college football, and that's just going to be great for everyone involved.
Yeah, once again, exactly what I was going to say. I think it's going to be good. 12 teams now. It's going to give teams to compete that you never thought had a chance at a national championship. I think there's going to be great upsets. It brings more college life. 4 teams are going to host a home playoff game now, with the 4 conference championships also getting a bye week. Like you said, it'll make conferences once again matter. It'll pull in more money for colleges, and that's really all they're after.
And I think it's going to be great because it gives more teams an opportunity to move up. So, like I said, I think it will be a great expanded playoff.
Absolutely. And now we're going to look at some of my college football playoff predictions. I think that this national championship, it's going to come down to Georgia and Michigan. And just like last year in the Orange Bowl, Georgia is just going to push around Michigan. I think they're the more physical team, and that's why they will repeat as national champions.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think the Buckeyes have some fire lit under them. I think they're ready. I think they're going to take down the reigning champs. And I also believe Michigan will dominate TCU, but I believe it'll be the Buckeyes that hoist the trophy at the end of the season with a win against their rival.
Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. When we come back, the Browns will take on the Texans in a highly anticipated matchup. We'll have that and more as we go around the NFL when we come back.
Welcome back to Sports Corner. I'm Nico Crespo. The Houston Texans took on the Cleveland Browns in Houston, so let's check out the highlights. Deshaun Watson takes his first steps on the field since the suspension as he visits his former team, the Houston Texans. 2nd and 5. Watson scrambles and finds Anthony Schwartz. Schwartz turns up the field and fumbles courtesy of Tavier Thomas. The Texans are on their way to scoring the first points of the game. The Texans indeed do drive down the field, but only end up with a 44-yard field goal from Kaimi Fairbairn. That will make it 3-0 Texans. 2nd quarter. Browns in their own end zone. Line up in the same formation for 2 straight plays and end up getting a safety. Come on, coach. Not ideal. Texans up 5-0. Donovan Peoples-Jones back to return. He finds a hole. He's going to stumble at the 40-yard line. He recovers. He's still going. 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Browns. That will make it 7-5. 3rd quarter. Texans at their own goal line. Kyle Allen with the sneak, and it's punched out by Tony Fields and recovered by Denzel Ward to make it 14-5. Man, the defense and special teams are really locked in. 4th quarter. Browns up 17-8. Kyle Allen drops back to pass. It's tipped by Chase Winovich and picked up by no other than Tony Fields and takes it for a touchdown. That will make it 24-8 Cleveland. The Browns would win 27-14 as Stefanski went on to address the team after the game.
December football, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Formula today. How about 2 defensive touchdowns and a special team? Yes, sir! That's a job, fellas, and that's what it takes. That's December football, right? pick each other up. That's what I saw today. I saw people picking each other up, and we were not leaving here without what we came for, and that was that win. You got this one, okay? You went 1-0 this week. Guess what you got to do next week? 1-0. Okay, you got a division game on the road next week at Cincinnati. Back in our division, mindset does not change. We have to work everything we do this week to get ready.
All right, Nico, after the first game with Deshaun Watson back at the helm, what can we say about his performance?
Deshaun Watson definitely showed some rust in his first game back. Watson throwing for only 134 yards and going 12 for 22 on the day, with most of those being thrown into the ground. And Watson added on by throwing a red zone interception. It definitely showed that he hasn't played in about 700 days.
Nico, do you think the Browns have a chance at the playoffs this year with Watson returning from his suspension?
It's possible, but very unlikely. According to ESPN FBI, the Browns have a 4.6% chance to make the playoffs, and they have a tough road ahead of them, facing all three rivals and some very good teams. The Browns are currently 5-7 and have dropped crucial tiebreaker games to the Jets, Patriots, and Chargers. So if we were to make the playoffs, we would have to win out and have some help from throughout the league.
And last question, Nico, what do you think the Browns' final record will be for the season?
As much as I say that we will win out, it just won't happen. This team has too many holes to finish the season 6-0. The Browns' final record will be 8-9.
And thank you, Nico. And we go to Atlanta. Steelers, they're on the road taking on the Falcons as Kenny Pickett. He drops back and he fires that Pat Freiermuth. He could not be stopped, shaking off multiple defenders on this play. He would not be brought down until just outside the 10-yard line. Big chunk play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was fired up after that catch and run, and the Steelers will go right back to the passing game. Kenny surveying the field, and he lofts one to a wide open Connor Hayward. Pickett exposing the Falcons secondary, finding Connor for that score. Steelers would have a 16-6 lead at the half, but the Falcons would come out swinging in the second half. Mariota on play action. He's going to find his tight end, proof it for the score. Battle of the tight ends in this game. Trading scores, great effort by him, extending into the end zone, making this a 19-13 game in the late fourth quarter drive for Atlanta. Mariota back up in his own end zone. He drops back and looks up, and it's intercepted by Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Steelers were going to win as the secondary iced this one away. They move to 5-7 on the year, and they will go back to Pittsburgh to take on the Ravens in their next matchup.
One of the newest AFC rivalries, the Chiefs versus the Bengals. Pat Mahomes here, he's going to drop back, hit Jerick McKinnon. The Chiefs now trail 10-14 after that touchdown from McKinnon. Chiefs are going to be back in the red zone here. Mahomes hands it off to Isaac Pacheco. Pacheco's going to bust through the pile and take it into the end zone, and the Chiefs take a 17-14 lead into the third. Pacheco's hyped up, and all those Chiefs fans are too. Chiefs on offense. Mahomes feels the pocket start to collapse, fires over to Kelsey. That's a completion, but Kelsey loses the ball as he gets tackled, and the Bengals will recover. Crucial misstep for Kelsey there. Really rare mess up by him. It's first and goal for the Bengals. Burrow drops back, fires, hits a wide open Chris Evans, and Evans is just going to walk straight into the end zone. That's another touchdown for Cincy. They take the lead 27-24. Harrison Butker looking for the equalizer. This 55-yard field goal will tie it up, but he misses it. Unbelievable. And this game will end 24-27, a mirror image of the AFC Championship game from 2022. This rivalry is going to be one for the ages.
Good evening, Portage County. I am Austin Arnold.
And I am Brady Hamilton.
You know what time it is? It is time for Around the NFL. So, Brady, what is the first game on tap tonight?
We start off in the Bay Area. It was a highly anticipated matchup between the Dolphins and the 49ers. The first play of the game, Tua in the pocket with a laser to Trent Sherfield as he turns on the boost, and he will take it all the way into the end zone, and the Dolphins, they will take a 7-0 lead. Dolphins down 13 in the fourth. Tua with time, throws it deep. He drops it in perfectly into the basket for Tyreek Hill for the deep touchdown, and the Dolphins are making this a game late. But with 2 minutes left in the fourth, Tua, under a lot of pressure, is hit while he throws, and it is somehow ruled a fumble. The 49ers take advantage and take it in for the score, and that would be it in this one as the 49ers win 33-17, and both teams are now 8-4 on the season.
We will go from San Fran to East Rutherford, New Jersey. Taylor Heineke on 3rd and 5, late first quarter, finds scoring Terry McLaurin for the touchdown to make it 10-0 early on in New Jersey. We now go to the second half, 13-13 tie. Daniel Jones, he'll find Isaiah Hodgins for the touchdown to put New York up 7. But when it matters the most, with under 2 minutes to play in the game, Taylor Heineke will find his man, Jahan Dotson, the first-round pick, who will put Nick McLeod through the blender, and he will score the 28-yard touchdown to tie the game. And that was the last score of the game. 20-20 tie. Both these teams play on Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks.
And then we got Justin Herbert and the Chargers taking on Josh Jacobs and the Raiders. AFC West matchup. Jacobs has been having a year. Derek Carr and the Raiders on offense, 3rd and 5, and he fires this in the direction of Hollins. That's intercepted by the Charger defense. Chargers, they get on the board first with this pick six, and Chargers up 10-0. But the Raiders, they're going to get back in this game, giving it to their workhorse back, Josh Jacobs. He explodes for a touchdown. Then early in the third, Raiders only trailing by 3. Carr's going to throw to the end zone, looking for Adams, and he brings this one in. Amazing catch by one of the best wide receivers in the game today. Look at that catch. Raiders, they take the lead in this game. Chargers, they're trailing. They're down 7 with under 3 minutes. So Herbert trying to make something happen. Throws to Carter, and it is dropped. Chargers turnover on downs. Perfectly placed ball. Carter just couldn't hold on. Unreal ending, and the Raiders, they win 27-20 against their division rival in this game.
Speaking of division rivals, the biggest rivalry in the NFC, dare I say, the Bears. Justin Fields' Bears taking on the Packers at Soldier Field. Justin Fields is going to fake the handoff, finds a route up the middle, and he is off. Fields turns on the Jets and runs 56 yards to the house. That is an elite QB right there, folks. 4th and 4 for the Packers. Rodgers, he feels the pressure. He scrambles, fires across the middle to Christian Watson, who makes that grab against all odds. And the Packers now only trail 10-19. Green Bay still on offense here. Rodgers hands it off to Christian Watson, who makes it out to the sideline and takes off running, then leaps into the end zone for the TD. 46 yards to the house, and the Packers are going to win this one 28-19.
Now we go to the great state of Minnesota, where the Vikings hosted the Jets. Straight to the 4th with the Vikings looking to add on. Kirk Cousins drops back and finds Justin Jefferson for the touchdown. And the Vikings lead grows to 27-15 after this amazing catch. 4th down for the Jets. It's all or nothing for Mike White, who drops back, throws, but it is picked off by the Vikings. That would seal the deal for them as they go on to win 27-22.
That was a great game between the Vikings and the Jets.
And we are going right to LA now. Middle of the first quarter, Geno Smith getting ready to get his team going. 7-0 Rams. Geno Smith, he will find Tyler Lockett for a 36-yard score, and the Seahawks will tie it up at 7 apiece. With 40 seconds to go in the game, Geno Smith, he's going to look, he'll roll to his right, he will find DK Metcalf for the late go-ahead touchdown. The Rams had one more hope. They had one more heave. They had one more try to win this game. John Wolford, he looked back, he's going to roll, he'll find his man. Cody Barton, who plays on the Seahawks, that's a game-stealing INT. 27-23 Seahawks win, they snap the 2-game losing streak, and Seattle is 7-5 and in the wild card now.
Then we got Jalen Hurts and the Eagles taking on the Titans. Eagles, they're on offense to start, and they will get going early. Jalen Hurts, he winds up and he throws one to Devontae Smith. Smith's touchdown. This gives the Eagles a 7-0 lead in this game. He was fired up after that play. The Titans, they will try to respond. Tannehill drops back and laces one to Treylon Burks. Touchdown Titans, ties this game up for Tennessee. Eagles offense driving down the field. Hurts on 2nd and 15. Great protection, gives him time, and he finds a wide open A.J. Brown. The Hurts to Brown connection extends their lead, and it was all the Eagles in the second half. Hurts fires another deep shot to A.J. Brown again. 8 catches, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the wide receiver one. Amazing catch by Brown. The Eagles win, and they move to 11-1 on the season.
And finally, Jacksonville. The Jaguars are in Detroit, taking on the Lions. Jared Goff is going to fake the handoff, fires to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Brown is going to tiptoe into the end zone, and the Lions take a 14-3 lead in the first. Great end to a great drive for the Lions. Amon-Ra is back, folks. Goff hands it off to DeAndre Swift. Swift is going to roll around a defender, stiff arm another one, reach for the goal line, and he scores! The Lions go up 30-6 in the third. This is just a total slaughter by the Lions. And like the very first play, Goff is going to fake the handoff, roll out of the pocket, connect one more time with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and the Lions win 40-14 in a commanding win. Well, guys, after this week's action, who do you think is your pick for NFL MVP?
The Dolphin fan in me wants to say Tua Tagovailoa, but I have to give the edge to Patrick Mahomes still. Both quarterbacks did lose yesterday, but Tua had his worst game of the year, which did not help him close the gap on Mahomes. You also cannot rule guys out like Jalen Hurts, who had a blowout win yesterday against the Titans.
And Brady, I'm going to go ahead and take a different approach here and pick a defensive player. Micah Parsons is the only guy that comes to my mind, and he is 1 sack shy of a sack total from last year. And yes, he's easily the most influential defensive player in all of football. there is a possibility he can reach that 21 sack total by season's end. And with the remaining schedule that Dallas has, it is very fair to say that it's not out of the realm of possibility that he wins MVP.
And guys, with 5 weeks left in the regular season, who on the outside of the playoff picture right now can you see making a run at it?
Well, in the NFC, I like the Washington Commanders. They are going on a run right now to get their way into the playoffs, and the defense has been great. The offenses look completely different since Taylor Heineke has taken over under center. They're 6-1-1 with Taylor Heineke as the quarterback, and with Jimmy G out now, the Commanders can win 3 out of their next 4 games easily to get into the wild card.
And for the AFC, I like the Raiders possibly making a run at it. They are currently on a 3-game winning streak after starting off the season at 2-7. And the connection between Derek Carr and Devontae Adams is really starting to grow. And with 4 out of their next 5 games looking very winnable at the moment, the Raiders could be a team to watch out for to sneak into the back of the AFC.
All right, with all that being said, who do you guys both see playing on Championship Sunday this year?
I guess I'll speak for the NFC. I'm going to go with the Cowboys and the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. The 49ers, they lost Jimmy G, and I think that's going to really hurt them for the rest of the season. But there's no way, in my mind, that with Brock Purdy at the helm, that they're just going to make it. I think ultimately Philadelphia is going to be too good against the Cowboys at home, and that's going to put the Eagles out on top, and we'll see them in the Super Bowl.
And in the AFC, I like the Chiefs hosting it once again. I think they would play either the Dolphins or the Bills. You could also throw the Bengals in there, but with the real possibility of Tyreek Hill's return to Kansas City coming in this game, I really like the Dolphins as a team to come out with the upset at Arrowhead. With the way that Tua and this offense has looked, it's not as far-fetched as you may think.
And all right, now we're going to go to a quick Monday Night Football update. Thank you, guys. So a quick score update. Tampa Bay, they are up 3-0 against the Saints in the first quarter. We'll see what happens in this Monday Night Football matchup.
The Hardwood had some great games from this past week. We're going to break it down when we come back.
What's going on, Portage County? I'm Josh Aponte, and the Cleveland Cavaliers visited the Big Apple last night, so let's take a look at the highlights. Alrighty, so here we go. We are in New York City. The Knicks will get things started off first here. Julius Randle, he's going to drive, he's going to bump off, he's going to get the lucky bounce. That's going to be an and one. Here comes the Knicks again. Miles McBride running the floor. He'll find Obi Toppin for the top of the rim. See you later. And that will put the Knicks up 25-16. Here comes R.J. Barrett for the slam above Lamar Stevens. He finished with 15. And the Knicks will turn the ball over. Darius Garland, he's going to alley-oop that off the glass to Lamar Stevens for the dunk. And he was starting in the place of Jared Allen for this game. Spida Mitchell, he's going to find Darius Garland for 3. Easy 3 for Darius Garland. And the Knicks are going to turn over. Jetty Osman, he's going to find Spida Mitchell yet again. Donovan Mitchell, what a game for him. He finished with 23 points and 5 assists. And the Knicks, to seal the deal, they are going to find Julius Randle for the two-handed slam. And the Cavs will go on to lose 81-92. Very low-scoring game for both teams.
And it was a tough one for the Cavs, but let's take a look at their next matchup. They take on the Lakers. LeBron and the Lakers playing the Cavs. It's always a great matchup. Donovan Mitchell averaging 28.4 points per game. Jared Allen, 10.8 rebounds. And Darius Garland, 7.7 assists. And then Anthony Davis, he's been a monster, 28 points per game. Anthony Davis, again, 13 rebounds. He's doing it all for the Lakers. And then Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, leading the team 7.7 assists for LA.
How's it going, Portage County? I'm Michael Neenan, local NBA expert, and we've got a few games to get through, so why don't we go around the association? Of course, starting off, we have the Boston Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. Kevin Durant, with threads like that, you know he's absolutely filthy at basketball as he lays it in right over Sam Hauser. But you know what they say, great offense always beats great defense, and Jason Tatum, he fakes out Kevin Durant and gets a long 2. He put on a clinic tonight with 29 points, including the step-back 3 over Cam Thomas. Man, what a night to have. But Kevin Durant, not in his bag. Jaylen Brown picks his pocket and goes all the way to the other end for a dunk. He'd have 20 points in a quarter, 34 points on the night. And Jason Tatum, to seal the game, steals the ball from Kevin Durant and would effectively end the game late in the fourth quarter. And the Celtics would win 103-92.
Now we head over to San Francisco. Andrew Wiggins is going to hit a clutch 3, and the Warriors will take a 10-9 5-2 lead over the Rockets. Poole's going to swing it out to Steph Curry. Curry's going to snag that ball one-handed, hit a deep three-pointer that extends the Warriors' lead 22-4. Good ball movement here from Golden State. Poole's going to end up with the rock here, and he hits a clutch three-pointer. You know what? Let's finish it off with the classic, folks. One more from Steph Curry, and the Warriors will get a dominant 122-101 win over the Houston Rockets.
Then we got the Lakers on the road at Capital One Arena taking on the Wizards. Monte Morris, he's ready to go for the Wizards. Lakers on offense, and it's the Anthony Davis show. He had a monster game. He drives this one for the score and one for Davis. That is too easy for the star big man. Wizards trailing early. Lob is to Daniel Gafford. Gafford, 19 points in this game, and the Lakers haul into a double-digit lead. They get the ball in the hands of the 1-2 punch. LeBron to Davis. Perfect lob there, and LeBron on the drive again. So tough to stop as he muscles his way to the rim. And one for LeBron, a little shoulder shrug for the King. And Russ facilitating the offense. Back to Anthony Davis. Misses the first shot, gets his own rebound, and then dunks all over the Wizards. Posterized. Anthony Davis with 55 points, and the Lakers, they would go on to win behind great performances behind LeBron and Anthony Davis. They've won 8 of their last 10.
And next up, we have the Portland Trail Blazers. They're hosting the Indiana Pacers. The Blazers will get it started off here. Drew Eubanks is going to find Dame at the top of the arc. You know what time it is. It's Dame time. Here comes the Pacers. Aaron Naismith, he's going to drive into the paint. He'll find Miles Turner. He'll put it up and in. He finished with the and one and 24 points. Here comes Portland. They're swinging the ball. And Jeremy Grant for the easy corner three. He finished with a team high of 28 points for the Blazers. Blazers again. Damian Lillard from way downtown. And again, the Blazers, deja vu. Damian Lillard, it's Dame time, baby. Damian Lillard, what a game for him. And the Blazers, yet again, Yusuf Nurkic, he will find an Afri Snymans for the corner triple, and the Blazers will win this one 116-100. Boom, baby.
And now we got the Grizzlies taking on the Pistons in Detroit. Ja Morant goes coast to coast for a dunk. Oh, look at that. Get used to him, people, because you're going to see a lot more of him. Of course, Xavier Tillman, he get a rebound here, but it's not about him, because it's about Ja Morant, who catches the lob from Tillman. Oh man, how many people can jump like that? Not very many. Ja Morant again. Oh, he pulls up for 3 and hits it. He'd have 33 points on the night with 10 assists. But it's not just Ja here, because Brandon Clark, he passes to Jaren Jackson Jr., backs up his man, gets an easy lay-in to put the Grizzlies up way up, and the Grizzlies win 122-112.
Now the Pelicans taking on the Nuggets. We head to NOLA. Jokic is going to roll around Valanciunas here, and he's going to hit an easy layup. Denver now leads by 8. Valanciunas couldn't stop that man. Zion Williamson with the rock. He drives, rolls around, makes a layup, cutting the deficit to 5. I bet NOLA is very glad to have Zion back. The Joker, once again, he backs up toward the basket and muscles around a defender, hits a layup, and the ball gets passed out to Jokic once again. He second dribbles, hits a 3. Denver is now up by 8. Some good ball movement there by the Pelicans here. It ends with a Trey Murphy slam dunk. He drives to the basket, and look at that. Slam dunk over Jokic. What a slam by the young man. And guess what? He's gonna do it again. Murphy will drive to the basket, slam dunk over the Joker for a second time, and the Pelicans are now up by 3. Alvarado driving down the court, swings it out to Marshall. Marshall's gonna send it right back to Alvarado. Bam! Another 3 for Alvarado. One more to finish this thing off. 3 points. 38 points for him. The dagger from Alvarado. The Pelicans win 121-106. What a performance by the New Orleans Pelicans.
Then we got the Phoenix Suns. They're taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Suns with an early lead. And DeAndre Ayton, he's going to pull up for 3. Big shot by the big man, adding the 3 ball to the arsenal. And then Suns ball movement, making things happen on offense. Booker swings to paint. It ends up in Mikal Bridges' hands. Splash. And he's going to hit another one. Mikal Bridges, 3 again. 20 points out of Bridges. He was feeling it as he celebrates with his teammates. And Suns, they were in control the whole way. Suns couldn't be stopped, and this DeAndre Hayden slam stamps the win for the Suns. The Suns with 3 players over 20 points, and they win with a final score of 133-95 in this game.
And last up, we have the Sacramento Kings. They hosted the LA Clippers. Sacktown will get started here. Domantas Sabonis from the top of the key. That's an easy green light for him. He finished with a team high of 24 points. And the Kings again, Malik Monk, he'll drive into the paint, he'll put it up, and he'll put it in for the easy dose. And Domantas Sabonis, again, he'll pass it off to Kevin Huerter, and he will find, he's going to dribble, he's going to find De'Aaron Fox. He's going to get that little hesitation. Easy 3 for De'Aaron Fox. And Time to light the beam, ladies and gentlemen. Sacramento will win 123-96.
And guys, as we saw the Cavs, they had a tough loss. Why do you guys think the Cavs lost to the Knicks?
Well, neither team could get anything going offensively as both teams shot a combined 20% from three. But what lost the Cavs a game was getting heavily out-rebounded by the Knicks, which gave them several second-chance points. Jared Allen has been out with a back contusion, and his presence around the basket has been sorely missed. Allen is listed as questionable for tomorrow's game against the Lakers.
So what are your thoughts on Darius Garland and the Donovan Mitchell pairing thus far?
Well, Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell have continued to light it up offensively. Coach J.B. Bickerstaff has done a great job utilizing Mitchell in the offense, and he's currently averaging 28 points per game with a true shooting percentage of 63. I would go as far as to say that this has been the best season of Mitchell's career so far by a wide margin.
And now, what team has stood out to you in the past few games?
Easily, I have to go with the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis has been going on a rampage recently. He's averaging just below 29 points per game, and he's scored over 35 points in 5 of his last 9 games. This includes a 55-piece in a win against the Wizards. With Anthony Davis playing up to his potential again, and LeBron, well, being himself, I think the Lakers can pull something off and possibly scrape the barrel all the way to the playoffs. That's assuming if they stay healthy, of course.
So who do you guys think is the worst team in the league right now?
Right now, I think the Spurs are the worst team in the league. They don't have the worst record at the moment, but I anticipate that they will be by the end of the season. They have truly looked awful, but I believe this is by design, as the Spurs clearly have their eyes on Victor Wembanyama in this upcoming draft.
And lastly, who is your pick for the best team in the league?
Well, Michael Neenan is going to love this one, but I'm going to take the Boston Celtics. Right now, they're sitting at 19-5 at the #1 spot in the Eastern Conference. And I have to admit it, but Jason Tatum is playing at an MVP level caliber right now. He's averaging about 31 points per game with a 48% field goal percentage. If he keeps this up, the Celtics could be a force to be reckoned with and possibly could make another trip to the NBA Finals.
Thanks, guys. And could the Bruins become the NHL's first team to 20 wins? We'll have your answer when we return.
Howdy ho, Portage County. I'm Della Fowler, and how about we take this one to the rink for some NHL action? We got Penguins Blues here coming up. And first, the Penguins are going to be on the power play. Not for long, though. It's to Joseph, it's to Rust, but who will get it? Kasperi Kapanen, he's the lucky guy. He'll tap it in. Pens are up 1-0. Not counted as a power play goal, but it doesn't matter how you get it. That's all good. Here comes the Berg around to the back of the net. Lots of commotion in the front now coming up. Guess who's going to get it? 1-7, Brian Rust, my personal favorite Penguin. Too easy, wide open. This line, I really like them for some reason. I don't know. They just always make it. Still off the face-off, Blues get it on a feed from Nick Leddy. Mr. Pavel, he's paving his way to that with that slap shot, putting the Blues on the board early on in the first still. Guess what? We're in the first. Blues PK again. Malkin sets up Mr. K. It's his second one of the night. Kasperi Kapanen, take a bow. And here we go again. Quick feed from Malkin. We have a looker, Jason Zucker. The Pens are coming up 4-1. And it's just a beautiful night to be a Yinzer here. Zucker, Rust, guess who? Drop your hats, Pittsburgh. 1, 2, 3. Millie Kapanen is cashing in. A Hattie at home. What a night to be from Pittsburgh. I guess they would say, let's go Pens. Penguins on top, 6-2.
We will now head to Columbus, where the Columbus Blue Jackets are hosting the Red Wings. Austin Zarnik will get things started. He takes a shot. It's deflected, but it somehow makes it in, and the Red Wings will jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Detroit's on the power play. Philip Hronik pitches it off to Dominic Kubalik, who finds an open slot, and bam! The Red Wings now lead 2-0. Detroit's back on the power play with a 2-minute advantage this time. Hronik takes his time, sends the puck over to Lucas Raymond, and it is nothing but net for Detroit. They lead by 3 in the second period. The Blue Jackets have been unable to defend anything thus far. Columbus on a power play. Bjork with the puck. He shoots. He scores! He got some assists from Boone Jenner and Jack Rizlovic, but the Blue Jackets are only down 2. The Jackets on offense again. Kent Johnson rounding the goal. He makes it, and it is now a 1 score. Game in Columbus. Kent getting some help from Jenner and Gaudreau, but it is too little, too late. The Red Wings looking to ice this one. See what I did there? Andrew Koppel smashing in from the touch angle. The Red Wings will clinch victory 4-2-2.
And then we got the Boston Bruins at home taking on the Avalanche. Bruins on the attack early in the first period as Brad Marchand passes it to David Pastrnak, who gets this goal for the Bruins. Beautiful play, kick-started by Marchand, great assist by him. Bruins, they take a 1-0 lead, chasing that 20th win. Once again, they're aggressive in the first period. Perfect setup to lead to a Trent Frederic goal. Trent had a great game for the Bruins. He was there to finish off this play for the score. Bruins, they take a 2-goal lead, and the Bruins in control early. Great defense by the Bruins leads to a breakaway by Pastrnak, and he will score once again. Great shot by him. Bruins celebrating a 3-0 lead, and David is celebrating his second goal of the game. Bruins not slowing down. A 4-1 lead in the third period, and they would extend their lead off a David DeBrusk goal. Great offense by the Bruins. They capitalize on every opportunity, and DeBrusk has the dagger score. 5-1 is your final in this game. The Bruins, they pick up their 20th win.
As we are about a quarter way through the season, Della, who has surprised you the most?
Now, if Mia of last year heard this, she'd laugh her socks off. But listen here, follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City because the Seattle Kraken are legit. Last year, in their first year as an expansion team, they rounded up last in their division, charting less than 30 wins. But see them rise. They're sitting at 5th overall in the league, just putting up a franchise best of a 7-game win streak.
And Della, the standard of an NHL goalie has certainly changed over the past few years. What do you think of this, and how does this impact this year's Vezina candidates?
You're so right, Matt. Goalies nowadays are absolutely mind-blowing. Must be something in that Russian water because the rise of the Russian goalie has made scoring a goal much more complex than it has in the years past. You know the big names, Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, but watch out for the King of New York, Ilya Sorokin. He is having an outstanding year, posting a .932 save percentage and is leading the island on a revenge tour from their disappointing season last year.
Della, who do you think is going to win it all this year?
Although Colorado is favored to go back-to-back, I say keep an eye on Vegas as well as Tampa. This season has and will continue to be certainly certified electric.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Corrali. On the final edition of Corrali Countdown for the semester, we feature gutsy performances and game winners, but who will take the #1 spot? Let's find out as we go to the countdown. Starting things off with number 10. Let's go with hockey for the first time in countdown history. And Steven Stamkos. On Thursday night, it was Lightning Flyers from Philly, and Stamkos became the 14th player to be the #1 pick to reach 1,000 career points. The Lightning captain was mobbed by his team. Tampa Bay won this game by the final of 4-1 as the two-time Stanley Cup champ adds on to a Hall of Fame resume. At number 9, Alexander Ovechkin, Tuesday night against the Canucks in Vancouver. He scored in the first period and became the all-time leader in goals scored on the road. He passed the great one Wayne Gretzky in doing so. Capitals win 5-1, another milestone set for one of the greatest hockey players of this generation. At number 8, D-Book. It was Suns-Bulls on Wednesday night from the desert. The Suns win 132-113, and a big reason why, because of the old number 1. 51 points in 31 minutes of game time. It was just one of those nights for the superstar. He scored 70 in the Garden against the Celtics in 2017. Phoenix are now 16-7 and sitting pretty atop first place in the Western Conference standings. At number 7, the Lakers, from one team in the West to another. They're surging as of late. They won 5 of their last 6, highlighted by a 133-129 win against Giannis and the Bucks in Milwaukee. The team has been playing complimentary basketball as of late, and they're trying to break through in the Western Conference standings. At number 6, let's go to football Sundays now. The Philadelphia Eagles, a lot of screen time for these guys on the countdown, and for good reason. They're the best team in the NFL at 10-1, hosted Tennessee Sunday, won 35-10. They're now 11-1, and it was a revenge game for wide receiver A.J. Brown. The former Titan had 8 catches for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. You can see right here, he was just all by his lonesome on this day, making a huge impact for this Philly team. At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. The 3rd time this calendar year they played Kansas City on Sunday, and thanks to a 27-24 win against Mahomes and company, they're now 3-0 against Kansas City in 2022. Joe Burrow, another big reason why. 286 yards, 2 touchdowns on 25 of 31 passing. Let's go to number 4 now. Kansas State. They faced off against 3rd-ranked TCU in the Big 12 title game. They needed overtime to do it, but they pulled out a 31-28 win over the Horned Frogs. Deuce Vaughn, that man right there, dog. 26 carries, 130 yards, and a score. It's the first Big 12 title for the Wildcats since 2012. At number 3, the Indiana Pacers. They headed to Hollywood to play the Lakers. They trailed 101-84 in the fourth and climbed back thanks to a 3 from rookie Andrew Nembhard at the buzzer, shocked LeBron and the Lakers 116-115. It was an insane ending that even had some in this department having their jaw dropped. An early statement win. At number 2, the Utah Utes took on USC in the Pac-12 title game. The Trojans are 4th. They're heading to the playoff. All they have to do is win this one game. But the Utes had other ideas. 47-24 your final in an absolute knockout punch of a performance, a total team win. But unfortunately for Utah, it wasn't enough to get number 1 here on the Corolla Countdown, because at numero uno, all of the state champs from this weekend, OHSAA football state title games occurred, and a big shout out is in order for New Bremen, Maria Stein Marion Local, South Range, Glenville, Canfield, Toledo Central Catholic, and Lakewood St. Edwards. You all are number 1 on the Corolla Countdown. Live sharp. Let's end the season strong.
Thank you so much, Matt. Don't turn that dial. Our man on the Silver Mountain, Sharpest Take, and Mergen Minute segments are coming up.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I got 3 legs and a dream. Here we go to the Magic Money Line for one final edition for the semester. And it is going to be a doozy because we have the Army-Navy game this weekend. I have had so much luck with Navy in the past, so go ahead and give me the Navy Money Line. They're -110. Then Saturday night, we have Patty the Batty Pimblett, who's a -250 favorite. I expect him to win against Jared Gordon for his 4th UFC fight. And then to cap it all off, Sunday Night Football, the Dolphins are going to beat the Chargers, everybody. Do not let the line fool you. -145, that's +351 odds. $100 gets you $451 and $60. That's it. Magic Money Line, we're out.
Thank you so much, Austin. It is time for my Sharpest Take. And my Sharpest Take, the Cleveland Browns are going 2-4 for the rest of the season. Look, this may be way too soon and way too pessimistic, but from what I've seen from Deshaun Watson this week, it makes me believe that the Browns season is over. I know that they won, but that was not because the offense did well. It was because somehow the defense and special teams looked elite this week against the Texans, and who their upcoming schedule is are not going to be as lenient or as kind as the Texans were. We saw how the Bengals locked down the Chiefs and how strong the Ravens have been. The only team I see the Browns beating is the Steelers, and that's just because that team has been so beaten down they could barely stop the Falcons.
And for my Mergen Minute this week, I wanted to give my official college playoff prediction. I'm picking Georgia to win it all this year. I've had hope for this Buckeyes team all year, but I just don't know if they have enough to beat this Georgia team based on what I've seen the past few weeks. I think the Buckeye defense is up against too tall of a task. I also believe that TCU will win against Michigan, and they will see a Georgia and TCU matchup in which the Georgia Bulldogs take home the national championship. While Ohio State and Michigan matchup for the title would be one for the ages, I believe Georgia is just too good of a team. Expect Georgia and TCU to play for it all. For my man on the Silver Mountain this week, I went with Anthony Davis. Davis has been playing at MVP caliber as of late and dropped 55 points along with 17 rebounds in a win over the Wizards Sunday night. The Lakers have won 8 of their past 10 games, and Davis has been a big reason why. He's averaging 29 points per game along with 13 rebounds, and he looks healthy again. LeBron is still playing at a LeBron caliber level as well. After the struggles out of the gate this season, it looks like this team is starting to figure things out and return to form. People are playing their roles, and LeBron and Davis recently have looked like the best duo in basketball once again.
For my man on the Silver Mountain, it's the entire Dallas Cowboys team, and I think it's relatively self-explanatory, but more specifically, the 4th quarter Dallas Cowboys, who scored, count them, 33 points in 1 quarter. This was a 3-point game with 20 seconds of the third left, and then the entire team opened a can of Dallas dominance. The pass game and run game were elite. Pollard had 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. Michael Gallup had 2 touchdowns for him, but the pièce de résistance was the Cowboys defense. They picked off Matt Ryan 3 times, and Malik Hooker even returned a pick for a touchdown. They played the best game imaginable. The Cowboys are fighting hard in that stacked NFC East division.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Berney, and as a former producer of this show and sports director, I know we're way over, so I'll try to keep this quick. It's time to say goodbye. When I first got to Kent State in the fall of 2019, I was a wide-eyed freshman who really didn't know what he wanted to do as a career or in college. I decided to major in journalism and tried out for TV2 after seeing the table at Blastoff.
I got put as a weatherman even though I tried out for sports. I did weather for a semester, and by the second semester of my freshman year, I was producing SportsCorner, and I eventually worked my way up to sports director, which I've been for the last 2.5 years. I'm so grateful for the experience, friends, and memories that I made along the way here at TV2. I want to thank all the producers and directors who I worked with who've been amazing and honestly taught me everything I know about TV and TV2, including Mitch Myers, Ben Pagani, Austin Arnold, Mike Reiner, Matt Mergen, Ben McMillan, and Gabe Collura. I also want to thank all the other amazingly talented people I've gotten to work with during my time at TV2 and at TV2 Sports. You guys have been awesome. I've had friends for life here, gotten to go to Idaho to cover the Potato Bowl, and even got to work for ESPN while still in college, something I couldn't have done without TV2. I also wanted to thank my family and friends, including my mom and dad, my sisters, and my girlfriend JC for always watching me and supporting me. In true TV2 fashion, it was busy until the end. Some breaking news to start the show tonight was a perfect way to describe the chaotically awesome time I've had at TV2. Thank you so much. Thank you, TV2, for everything that you've done for me. I love you all so much, everybody in this room. Whatever lies ahead in the future, I know I'm better prepared for it because of my experience here at TV2. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you for tuning into this final episode of Sports Corner.
Be sure to follow us on social media at TV2 KSU Sports for more sports updates in and around Portage County. I'm Liv Sharp.
And I'm Matt Mergen. Hope you all have a great rest of your night.